Dear students, in the last class, we solved some problems based upon the electrostatic force present between the two charges. Now we are continuing with the remaining problems. Here we have the seventh problem. Point charges of +1 microcoulomb, +1 microcoulomb and -1 microcoulomb are placed at the corners of the equilateral triangle of side 0.3 meter. Calculate the resultant force on the charge at B. Okay, so it is a special problem because we need to consider one equilateral triangle there, and at the vertices of that triangle we need to consider the given charges. Okay, so at one particular vertex, that is B, we have to calculate the resultant or net force or resultant force. So dear students, first let us consider one equilateral triangle. We know that equilateral triangle is the one which is having the equal sides. All the three sides of the triangle will be equal. Assume that at A we have taken +1 microcoulomb of charge. At B we have taken again +1 microcoulomb of charge, and at C we have taken -1 microcoulomb of charge. Right? They have given the sides of the triangle as 0.3 meter. Okay, all the three sides are 0.3 meter only. Now we have to consider the resultant force on the charge at B. Observe this. So if you consider this charge, the charge which is present at B, see, it experiences the force due to the other two charges. Okay, so it experiences the force due to the charge at A, it experiences the force due to the charge at C, of course. Now the direction of the force is very, very important here. If you know the direction of the force properly, then only you can able to identify the resultant force, or you can calculate the resultant force. Okay, remember my words. Then in what direction the force on B will be acting due to the charge at A? Okay, so in what direction the force on B will act due to the charge at A? See, very simple. B experiences the repulsive force from the charge A. Why it experiences repulsive force? Because both the charges are positive charges. Hence, the force will be acting like this, in this direction. You call this force as F1. Okay. Similarly, if you consider the force on B due to the charge at C, see, the charge at C is -1, that is -1 microcoulomb, it is the negative charge, whereas the charge at B is positive charge. Hence, there will be an attractive force between them, right? There will be an attractive force. Hence, the force of attraction, you can consider the force of attraction that is towards C. So the force will act like this, and this force is taken as F2. Is it clear? Now, how will be the resultant force? It is very, very important to know the resultant force. So the resultant force will be due to these two forces, that is F1 and F2, and that will be acting somewhere here. the resultant force will be acting, or the net force will be acting somewhere here. Okay, then how to find this resultant force? If you have studied the vectors in the first year PU, then that knowledge of vectors, that is resultant vector, the knowledge of resultant vector, that will help you a lot. Okay, so therefore, how this F will be acting here? See, F is calculated by using one formula. I think you know that formula, that is F is equal to F1 square, F is equal to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 into F2 cos theta, right? And there will be square root for this. So therefore, this is the formula to calculate the F. Square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 into cos theta. Okay. Yes. See, F1 is the force on B due to charge at A. Similarly, F2 is another force. And what is this theta? Theta is the angle which is present between the two forces. Yes, theta is the angle which is present between the two forces. Okay, so all these factors are used in the calculation. So, do you have any doubt or any questions regarding this particular problem? See, purposely I have taken this problem. Okay, purposely I have taken because it will help you to understand how to calculate the resultant force, or even in the next concept. See, we need to calculate the electric field. So in that case also, that will help us to find the electric field or electric field intensity. Is it clear? Yes. Do you have any doubt or any questions here? Any doubt or any questions? No? Okay. Now, let us write the given things. What are the given things? Given Q1 1 microcoulomb, Q2 it is also 1 microcoulomb, Q3 minus 1 microcoulomb, and the distance of separation is same, that is 0.3 meter. Okay, so these are the given things. First, let us find what is F1. F1 is equal to, see, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into, it is between Q1 and Q2, isn't it? So Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay, so it is 9 into 10 raised to 9 into 1 into 10 raised to minus 6, 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 whole divided by, see, R square. R square is 0.3 whole square. So which is nothing but 9 into 10 raised to 9 minus 6 minus 6, it will be minus 12 divided by, see, 0.3 whole square is 0.09, right? It is 0.09. Now you make some small change that there, 9 into 10 raised to minus 3 here divided by 9 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay, so both 9 are cancelled. Both 9 are cancelled. Then what we get? Observe here, F1 is equal to, it is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus 2, or F1 is equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 1, or F1 is equal to 0.1 Newton. Okay, F1 is equal to 0.1 Newton. Any problem? Any doubt? Yes, call it as 1. Similarly, you calculate what is F2. Write the formula 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1, sorry, it is Q2, Q3, because it is the force between second charge, that is Q2 and Q3 here. Okay, so therefore Q2, Q3 divided by distance is same, no need to worry about that. So it is 9 into 10 raised to 9 into what is Q2? It is 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. Q3 is also 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. Same, everything is same. It is 0.3 whole square. Hence, when you make the simplification, you get the same answer, that is 0.1 Newton. Call it as 2. Okay, we get the same answer. Any problem? Any doubt? Yes. Now it is the main part. Okay, so to make use of this resultant force formula, we must know all of them, F1, F2. Of course, we know F1 and F2. Along with that, we must know what is theta. So what is theta here? What is theta? Yes, see, as it is an equilateral triangle, the interior angle is 60 degree. Then automatically the remaining angle is 120 degree. So theta is 120 degree here. Is it clear? So now once we know theta, very easily we can go to the resultant force. Therefore, the resultant force at B is equal to, F is equal to square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 into cos theta. Now you substitute the values. F1 is 0.1, F2 is also 0.1 Newton, plus 2 into F1 F2, again 0.1 into 0.1, and cos of 120 degree. Okay, so what is cos 120 degree? Anybody know what is cos 120 degree? Anybody know what is cos 120 degree? Yes, see, it is minus half. Okay, it is minus half. Therefore, plus 2 into, see, this is 0.1 whole square again, and this is minus 1 by 2. So 2 cancelled here. Once 2 is cancelled, see, don't make any changes or multiplication here. Don't make any changes or multiplications. Plus into minus, minus 0.1 whole square. Again 0.1 whole square will be cancelled. Then what is left? Root of 0.1 whole square. Then square root and square cancelled. Then what is left? 0.1 Newton. Hence the resultant force acting on that charge is also 0.1 Newton. Right? So this is how we have to calculate, or this is how we have to find the resultant force. Yes, dear students, do you have any doubt or any questions regarding this? Do you have any doubts or questions about this particular problem? How to find the resultant force? Okay, how to find the resultant force? Yes, so finally you have to write about the resultant force. So the resultant force is 0.1 Newton, and see how it is. What is its direction? Its direction will be parallel to this AC. Okay, parallel to this AC. Therefore, it is written as 0.1 Newton parallel to AC. Right? Hope you got this. So remember this formula. This formula is very, very important. Resultant force formula. Now, after understanding the problem of resultant force, let us continue with it. Okay. See, again there is one problem. 3 identical point charges of plus 2 microcoulomb are placed at 3 corners ABC of the square ABCD. Okay, so it is a square. Actually, a square should come here. Square ABCD of side 0.1 meter. Okay, calculate the resultant force on the charge at B. Right? So it is, see, the geometrical figure. In the previous problem, it was equilateral triangle. Now it is a square, right? So the concept is same. Yes. So first you imagine one square here. You consider one square. Say it is ABCD, or like this. If I take it like this, ABCD. Then sides of the square, they are 0.1 meter. All sides are 0.1 meter only. Right? Then, see, in each corner, we have a charge of 2 microcoulomb. Yes, we have the charge of 2 microcoulomb. Then they ask you about the resultant force on charge B, charge at B. So what is the resultant force? Actually, there is no charge at D. A, B and C only. We don't have any charge at the vertex B. Right? That is very important. Now, how will be the force on B? See, charge at B experiences a force from charge at A. What kind of force it experiences? Yes, it experiences the repulsive force. Why it experiences the repulsive force? Both charges are positive. Hence, the repulsive force on B will act like this. You call it as F1. Similarly, if you consider the charge C and the force on B due to the charge at C, then it is again repulsive force. So it is, say, F2. So if it is repulsive force, it has to be taken away from the charge, right? So if it is an attractive force, then it should be, the direction of that force will be between the two charges. Now, how will be the resultant force? Yes, I told you in the previous problem that resultant force will be acting like this. Okay, so the resultant force or magnitude of the resultant force, it mainly depends upon what is this angle which is present between F1 and F2. Okay, now in this case it is very easy. As the interior angle is 90 degree because it is a square, definitely here also the angle theta will be 90 degree. Correct. Then our work becomes easy, somewhat easy. I hope you understood all the concepts what I have explained in this diagram. Okay. In short, I repeat them. There is one square and 3 charges are placed at the vertices A, B and C. They are of equal magnitude plus 2 microcoulomb. Then we have to find the resultant force at B. So for that, first we have to find the resultant force due to charge at A, then resultant force due to charge at C. Then with the help of those two forces, we have to find the resultant force F. Okay. Yes. So let us write the given things. Given. See, QA, charge at A, it is 2 microcoulomb. Charge at B same, and charge at C also same, 2 microcoulomb only. Then what is the distance here? Distance of separation 0.1 meter. And what about the theta? Theta is 90 degree. So once we write all this information, we can directly go to the problem section now. First one, F1 is equal to, right, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into QA into QB, because we have taken them as QA and QB, divided by R square. See, it is 9 into 10 raised to 9 into QA is 2 into 10 raised to minus 6. Both are same. Okay. Then R square, it is 0.1 whole square. So 9 into 2 2s are 4 into 10 raised to 9 minus 12, because minus 6 minus 6 minus 12. 0.1 square, it is 0.01, or you can write it as 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. Or it is, just you multiply, 9 4s are 36 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus 2. Right? Or it is 36 into 10 raised to minus 1, or F1 is equal to 3.6 Newton. That is F1. Any doubt? Any questions? Now go to F2, the second one. Right? F2 is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. See, it is the charge between, it is the force between the charges at B and C. So I take QB and QC, okay, divided by R square. Anyway, it is same because all charges are identical charges. Then we get the same answer. No change at all. Right? Right? So we get 3.6 Newton only. F2 is also same. Therefore, now let us go to resultant force. Resultant force, F is equal to, right, square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 into F2 cos theta. Yes, substitute the values. See, 3.6 square plus 3.6 square plus 2 into 0. Why 0? Because cos of 90 degree is 0. Theta is 90 degree here. Therefore, cos 90 is 0. So instead of substituting, just you remove it. Therefore, it is square root of, see, can I write it like this? A small trick. 2 into 3.6 whole square. Right? Because 3.6 plus 3.6, there are two terms, two same terms. That's why it is written as 2 into 3.6. Now this square and square root for 3.6 will cancel. Hence it is 3.6 into root 2 Newton. So this is the force or the resultant force what we get. 3.6 root 2 Newton. Any problem? Any doubt? Sometime you have to learn some tricks. Okay. Just like how here 3.6 plus 3.6. Don't go for the finding the square and adding them. Yes, use some tricks there, mathematical tricks. That will be helpful for you. Right. Any problem? Any doubt regarding that? If you want, you can multiply. See, 3.6 root 2 Newton is sufficient. If you want, you can take the square root of 2 and multiply with 3.6. Then whatever the answer you get, that answer can also be written here. Okay, resultant force anta baradu answer kuda baribodu. Okay na? then how it will be acting? It will be acting along the diagonal BD. Press along the diagonal BD. F ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, F is equal to 3.6 into root 2. If you make 3.6 into root 2, see how much it might be. It is 5.09 Newton along the diagonal DB. Okay, along the diagonal DB. So this is your final answer. Hope you got the solution. Do you have any doubt or any questions regarding this? Any doubts or any questions? Why I have taken entirely 0 here? Because cos of 90 degree is 0. Hence this third term completely becomes 0.